Hello everybody, hello Facebook. Zuckerberg, you can suck my, I don't know, something, yogurt. Got things to tell you here, guys. I just laugh about it or something. Anyway, I just want to record this for my YouTube account as well, so I'm just doing it as a live video. Maybe other people want to understand things. My wife, she just went today to see her midwife, one of the midwives. It seems like for the last time, before the next baby will be passed on to the social services. Hi there, Konstantin. And it seems today's appointment, it wasn't so much about the baby's health, about her physical health, everything. It was pretty much about hers and my psychical, mental health. And what happened is I was having a poor, bad, difficult relation with my wife. She's a countryside girl. She didn't go out much in the society, and whenever she does something wrong, and I'm telling her it's wrong, she doesn't really believe me, among other things that's happening between us. And when she became pregnant, I just took advantage of it and told the midwives, look, she's not like having mood swings because of the pregnancy. It's like she's having mood swings because that's how she is. And I'm hoping you girls can help me out with this. So we've been kind of under assessment for that one. And also because I've been in jail for 35 days in December for a slap that I gave to a guy in 2012 in Germany. And they just caught me on the highway right now and they wanted to sort that thing out. And I've been under assessment by the midwives and social security for possible aggressivity in the family and stuff. And there are other things that I'll tell you about as well. Thing is, my wife, she came out of there just laughing about it because she does some things, and when people get the wrong idea about her, about us, she's like laughing about it. She's like, come on, really? People, they do think something like that? Well, they do. It's because your behavior, because of me telling them, look, help me out with this, because this is how she's behaving. And I know she's not crazy or anything, but she's acting like a crazy person, you know, because her behavior, her entire behavior hasn't been properly managed by anybody, by society. And I'll give you an example. When we started dating, at some point she was like unhappy with something or arguing with me or whatever, or she was insecure about staying at my place or coming at my place. She was just used to stay home with her mother, 26, 27 years old, you know, like really old virgin woman, my wife. And she would just walk in her slippers. She would start her trip from home with boots, and then she realized slippers in her bag to use it at my place, and then she realized her feet hurt. Then she was just swapping them and actually walking 6 kilometers to my house in her slippers. And after she did that a couple of times, she was like just taking the boots with her because I don't know, it's like she was supposed to wear boots, so she was bagging them in the bag, but she was actually coming in slippers and going back home to her mother in slippers. So I started telling her, look, Mona, people in the village are gonna start comparing you to that old crazy woman. We have one in the village. She's always with a bag, like, you know, like a bum on the streets. Her entire life is in that bag, and she's like going up and down from one village to the other. Well, this is what my wife was doing. It's just that she wasn't crazy. She was just unsure about her first relationship, and her behavior was totally out there. So I told her people are gonna start laughing about her. She was like, come on, what's to laugh? It's my slippers. I'm just walking them. They are more comfy. They're comfortable. My feet hurt from walking 6 hours. I'm like, well, then let's do something else. When you come to my house and then something bothers you, instead of just leaving out the door without even telling me, and I wasn't sure where she is, tell me, I'll take you back home to your mother's. Or sometimes she was calling me from there, but after leaving from my house, and I was like, you left, you come back. I'm not gonna just come and pick you up. Yeah, I came to pick you up in the morning. 1 hour later, you were like, oh, I'm going home to my mother's, without telling me you are going. I was just noticing at some point she disappeared from my yard because it was countryside house. Yeah, not a flat. So if she wasn't in the house, I just suppose she went outside in the yard to pick up something, or we still have a toilet outside of the house in the garden, like military style when you go into war 200 years ago, a latrine. So yeah, she does this sort of things, and I reported her to the midwives because she doesn't really like to make friends, not even girls. She's just used with being her and her very close family. Until now it was her mother and daughter, her sister's daughter. Well, now it's me and our daughter. We're just having a little girl. And what I did, I had to resort to this and tell the midwives. And among all these things, I was just laughing, me and my wife, about the questioning in those, which is normal, especially for pregnant women. Some women after pregnancy, they have mental issues. For some, it's like something that just passes. For others, it's just a weird reaction of the brain which they never recover from. And some, they try to kill themselves. Some, they just feel like running away from the husband for some reason. It's some sort of crazy old instinct that is left within us as animals, and different species, in different species, the male is killing his own offsprings. So some human females, somehow they get that kind of feeling, like a lioness or like a tiger, or I don't know which species female, because usually lions or tigers, they kill the other guy's offspring, not his own, but sometimes they kill their own as well. They don't recognize their smell or something. And anyway, some women, they do get that, and they feel like running away from their husband, especially if the relation is with a little bit of trouble. Anyway, these girls were like very good into checking into this stuff. They checked myself as well, and I had no issue with that. And I'm really glad they do. Something like that doesn't really happen in Romania, for example. And it's, if you're talking about the capital or you're talking about some countryside village, well, imagine Romania is the country in which a judge decided a 13 years old girl lured a man into having sex with her, and that guy trying to have sex with that girl. And I have to tell you, yeah, I know kind of, I've seen kind of young girls that they have those, like, that crazy behavior. They develop really early, or they are like really wise, and they kind of use their sexuality and also the law of the land. They know that actually a guy, when he's hitting at them, he's doing something illegal. And those little pricks, they even extort people. There are guys stupid enough to look at a young girl for some reason, or to do a gesture or something, or to write a message, And guess what's happening? Then she starts blackmailing the guy, the little twat. So, passing from that, I'm gonna just fucking lose the line of the story. But I'm glad they're doing that. It's nice. While in Romania, judges and officially authorities, they don't really give a shit about family life and social security and stuff. And I don't even talk about mental health in Romania. You really need to have money to pay somebody to check into your mental health. So that was nice. But then the funniest thing, it was like, well, I had the one moment at my house with one of the midwives. She was supposing I'm smoking for some reason. And she kept on telling me that it's not good to sleep in the same room with the baby, this and that. And then I was like, I'm not smoking. Oh, I don't know why I thought that. And I was like, don't worry, I have people thinking I'm doing cocaine as well. And then she started like being very defensive, and she didn't even let me explain it to her. I wasn't being that kind of English sarcastic, offensive or defensive or whatever individual. The thing is, I had my nose operated, and still I have some issues with the mucus inside my nose, and I'm scratching my nose, and even if I don't, I get like very big popcorn in there, and I have to blow it hard, and I have blood coming out of my nose at least once or twice a month, because that skin just became damaged in there. And many people, if they see that at me, they compare me with drug addicts, with cocaine people, because people that snore, they usually destroy that skin inside the nose, and they have nose bleedings all the time. That added on top of the fact that I have been, as a kid, a person with a lot of energy. I talk a lot, whatever, my mother just couldn't keep me in one place. They sent me to do judo for 7 years at Steaua in Bucharest, just because they couldn't handle me back home. I needed to release my energy somewhere. And well, those two things together, a lot of energy with bloody nose, that's cocaine people. So, and on top of all of that, I don't know if it's from vaccines or whatever, or it's just in my nervous system, or it's because of the family climate that I had as a kid, because my father did used to beat me quite hard. I don't know where it comes from. I have something which I think is called dystonia, or something like that. So from time to time, when I'm tired or something, I have, like, we call it in Romanian, tics. It's like twitches of the nerve muscles, and it's not always like spontaneous, but you feel like doing it. And if you don't do it, it's like building up in your nervous system. It's either I have to wink with my eye, either I had a period for about 1 year, I was like just popping my lips, they were like itching me all the time, or I'm just raising my shoulder or moving it. So I'm with a guy with like too much energy, and I've got a short circuit somewhere. I don't know if it's coming from a vaccine, like the hepatitis B vaccine, which attacks the myelin shell on the nervous system or anything, but I do have that, and it's similar to people that use drugs. I do have the nose, I do have a lot of energy, so that's getting people excited about, oh yeah, he's doing drugs. Then there was, so I didn't get to explain that to her, so sorry about that, but I wasn't, if she's gonna watch this at some point, I wasn't just trying to be weird about it. I do know I give this sensation to people. I've been told that about by people that use drugs. Actually, they're like, bro, come on, do you want some? I know you're using, because I'm like, bro, you're mistaking my behavior. Then there was a question, do you have the sensation that you're always followed by someone or something? It's that type of paranoia. Well, I was laughing my ass about it, me and my wife. I was like, come on, did you don't tell them? I don't have that sensation. I know for sure it's happening. And it's happening because I had a life in which I was involved with prostitutes. It's happening because I'm coming out of Romania and that entire country is corrupt and dirty. By the way, I just meant to do this on some video. If you're going in Romania and you want to do business in there, just if you have to deal with local authorities, just pop it in as a joke, you know. Tell them, look, I've been watching a video made by Jarula and he said to ask you how much is parandaret. You know, in Romania, bribe, it's called mită, șpagă, and parandaret. So that means something that's turning back around. Yeah, so just ask about parandaret in Romania. And yeah, I've been in a situation in my life when a guy that I knew and we were going at the gym, we were meeting at the gym all the time, and I knew he was bringing some shoes and clothes from Turkey and selling them in Romania. He was like, look bro, this time I didn't bought from Turkey, I bought from China, and I bought like a big quantity and I have to send the money for this. Could you help me out? I need to send for different people. People's attention, and I kind of understood what it was about. I was like, fuck it, come on. Anyways, if I do something, it's gonna be my first time. I'm gonna just, and it's financial things, you know. People's bankers steal money and they get promoted for that, you know. I was like, yeah. Anyway, the police does it, the guys in the customs do it in our country. I was like, yeah, fuck it, no worries. Well, that guy actually ended up sending about 70,000 euro to China, and it seems that prick, he didn't even bought the stuff himself, because I knew usually he was buying from like 10-12,000 euro and selling them in a couple of months or something or more. This time he bought 70,000 euro worth of merchandise. And he didn't actually bought it himself. It was another guy that bought about 300,000, like an entire container. And whoever was coming and buying Angro from him in bulk, yeah, he was telling that guy, oh, you need to pay me 70,000 for this one, but don't give the money to me. Or you need to pay me 100,000 for this one. Don't give, just give me 30,000 and 70,000 send it to China or something like that, whatever. And it was 300,000, and then actually that guy was from a gang of, I don't know, 6 guys or something. I found out at the police headquarters at some point, and from these guys when they started just laughing about it, because they sorted that out with the police in Romania. It was a gang of 6 guys, and the entire lot of containers, it was about 2 million euro. So I was in deep shit. It was a list of about 200 people that sent money to China at that point. So that, with my life being involved and in love with different prostitutes, with the fact, and I have been telling this here on Facebook and on YouTube and everywhere, my father has been active as a state security fighter in Romania during the communism. He was one of those guys that were like you would call the special forces, the SWAT in America. Well, it was like in Romania, it was the special forces of Securitatea. It was the special forces of KGB compared to Russia. And if you were bringing coffee or whatever from outside, or having a visitor from outside, and you're thought to be collaborating with a capitalist country, you are getting those guys in your house to break your bones. And what I could find out about what my father did, because he kept his mouth shut pretty tight, my mother told me he realized he needs to break off with those guys when they were like going into people's houses and breaking their bones for bringing coffee and cigarettes, which you are not allowed except from the national brands, and for taking golden teeth out of their mouths, because they're like the gypsies or any other people. They're like wearing golden teeth the moment they're like having a little bit of extra money. At some point that could have been mistaken with a different alloy which is no longer used in the dental industry. it's been proven it's, I don't know, cancerogen or something with G. I don't remember the name right now. It was the name of the guy that invented that alloy. And gold and that alloy, like bronze color, that one as well, yellowish, were kind of similar. And I'm guessing people which weren't allowed to have too much gold, they were like kind of trying to hide the gold by actually wearing it in their teeth, or like trying to show that they do actually have money, even they are supposed not to have during the communism. Thing is, long story short, my father's gang of state security guys were breaking into people's houses, and on top of everything they were doing there, they're like, oh, you have golden teeth, taking them out, you know, like boom, we're getting the teeth. And well, I'm pretty sure those teeth, they didn't get to Ceausescu. They probably did get into some high-ranking officials' pockets as well, not only the low guys, because those guys, they were like acting protected by the badge, so they had to pay up some bosses they had. But my father was doing that, and after he quitted that gang, well, of course he was tracked by his fellow colleagues, and they were like trying to make sure he's not going to rat out whatever they did and blah blah blah. And with things that I've done during my life, and when I had that problem with those guys, and I ended up talking to the police, and they sorted all that shit out, actually, those guys. When I got there, actually, the guy that made me send money for him, he was like, bro, come on, are you in front of the police? No, don't go in there. Look, it's the last time I can help you with anything. I'm just telling you, don't go in there. It's the last thing I can do for you on this lifetime. This guy comes down from the capital's police of Romania, like the economic police. Guess what's happening? He's like, come on, that motherfucker didn't tell you shouldn't show up. Actually, we cited you for you to come here, but you weren't supposed to show up. Well, if you're here and it was two of us, just let's go upstairs and we're gonna talk some bullshit. The guy that I was with, he was like really brain dead. We went into the office, and the police guy, he was like, everything is wired in here, don't talk bullshit. Then he started to ask some question, and we were supposed to give some stupid answer. Imagine the other guy was like, come on bro, if you said everything is sorted out, I don't know, you are like, we know that guy, I used to work for that guy, you know that ex-commander of police, that he's actually a manager for that company, blah, blah, blah. That guy was like, you know guys, I've got something to do, just fuck off, go home, I'll call you in a different time. He just pushed us out of the office because that guy couldn't shut his mouth. So when the midwife was asking my wife if any of us has the impression that we are like followed or anything, well, on top of the fact that fucking Google and Facebook and every app on the face of the internet wants to know where we are right now with this GPS on our phones, no, I know for sure from time to time my ass gets tracked. So, well, I have to do my deliveries, guys. I'm just a delivery driver, and I'll leave you with this. I just wanted to do this video. It seems funny to me, and I'll download it, and I hope you're having some fun at some point watching it.